My name is Janaisha Clark, and I'm interviewing my pastor and his First Lady Anderson. And can you say your full name, please?
Esther Dawkins Anderson. Dawkins was her maiden name.
My name is McArthur Anderson. I was named after the late General McArthur, but I spell mine capital M-C-A-R-T-H-U-R.
Thank you. And how old were you guys when you were baptized and filled with the Holy Ghost?
I think I was baptized at age 6, and I received the Holy Ghost about 7 and a half.
I think I was baptized. I'm guessing this is kind of hard for me to remember, but I'm going to guess I was about 14, but I didn't receive the Holy Ghost until I was about 17.
Okay. And Bishop, was your parents members of the church?
My mother was, but not my father.
Both my parents were. They brought me to this church as a little girl. My dad was a deacon and also the Sunday school superintendent, bus driver. And my mom was first young person.
And First Lady Anderson, when did you learn how to play the piano?
I think I started at about age 7 when the former pastor's wife decided to learn how. And she started me off about the same time she started. And then after that, I took some piano lessons from various teachers and were inspired by other people.
Thank you. And Bishop, when you first became pastor, was it a big challenge? And if it was, how did you overcome it?
Well, I have to say it was a big challenge, but the blessing was, I really at that point was like 31 years old. So I didn't really recognize how big of a challenge it really was. That helped a lot. I'd say just not recognizing how big of a challenge it was. That helped me a lot.
Thank you. And what insight did you get from the past pastor?
Well, since I started going to this church, I was about 8 years old. So I've always been a person who watched and observed and learned. So basically, mine was what you call kind of OJT, on-the-job training. And so most of my learning came from watching him, being around him, and just basically coming to church.
Okay, thank you. And First Lady Anderson, when your mom became pastor, was it hard being a pastor's child?
I don't think that it was difficult because it didn't seem like much changed when my mom was pastor. She started pastoring when I was about 11, and she pastored till I was about 12 or 13, and then she stopped and came back to this area. That was in Oklahoma. And then when I became an adult and had children, she started another church, and I wasn't a part of that one.
And as being a pastor's wife, do you help counsel the people that come to your husband?
Sometimes, if I'm asked, I'll do that. Other than that, my counseling is kind of limited. I don't try to counsel anybody unless they ask me a question about something. That's normally not my real job.
Okay, thank you. And Bishop and First Lady Anderson, can you tell us some of the good things you enjoy of being over the church?
Well, first of all, I enjoy going out with Pastor every now and then and going home with him. I enjoy the young people and the other people. They treat me kind of like a brother. And then I in turn treat them kind of like my children. I enjoy doing things for them and teaching them things, I enjoy my position.
And First Lady Anderson, is it hard being over the choir, and how old were you when you started?
I was an adult when I took over the choir, and there's some things about it that's kind of difficult in that I'm one who likes peace and quiet. But if you're going to be in that position, you do need to listen to music and spend some time with it. So it's a conflict there. But.
And First Lady Anderson, what are some of the jobs outside of church that you enjoy doing?
Well, I work at one of the high schools as a teacher.
And while being in church, First Lady Anderson and Bishop, could you attend any sports or activities at school?
Yeah, I mean, I could always attend. I probably didn't attend a lot because I was under the assumption that the pastor really preferred me to be at church as opposed to attending a lot of other outside activities. So I didn't attend.
I attended my first game, real game, with my husband, and that was when I was an adult. Because when I was a member of the church in the early day, we didn't participate in sports, and neither did we go to any of the activities.
Thank you. And can you please tell me some history on the Deacon Woods, Mother Perkins, and her positions?
Mother Perkins, I'm just really familiar with her because when I came to the church in the early 50s, she was here. And we spent a lot of time with her. She would always visit the saints' house when they got sick or whatever. She would always do that. She was a Sunday school teacher. So I had her as a teacher. And, I always, as a kid, I always tried to avoid her when we had a get-together every month. When we had dinner, she'd always make sure I ate my green peas, which I didn't like.